Breaking news regarding King Charles. We are learning that he indeed has been diagnosed with cancer. This comes just a week after he was released from the hospital after undergoing a procedure to treat an enlarged prostate. Let's bring in our foreign correspondent, Maggie Rulli, in London. She's been working all the breaking details. Maggie, what do we know?
Hey, Kira. Yeah, well, we've been following the King's health now for a few weeks after you mentioned he went in for that procedure on what at the time they said was as an enlarged prostate. But just moments ago, Buckingham Palace was out with a statement. Let me read it for you now. They say, during the King's recent hospital procedure for a benign prostate enlargement, a separate issue of concern was noted. Subsequent diagnostic tests have identified a form of cancer. Now, right now, that's really all that we know. Buckingham Palace, again, just releasing this statement moments ago. What's interesting here, Kira, is some of the details that they're giving. They go on to say His Majesty chose to share this diagnosis to prevent speculation and in hope it may assist public understanding for all those around the world who are affected by cancer. Now, you may remember when he went in for that enlarged prostate, he was very open about his medical history, again, hoping to raise awareness for prostate issues in men. It seems he may be doing something similar here. But of course, Kira, right now our questions are surrounding his health. How is he doing? We did see him out and about yesterday, briefly leaving church in Sandringham, but other than that, we haven't seen him. And so right now, people are thinking of him, wondering exactly what kind of cancer this is, how far along it is. Right now, we just don't have those details yet, Kira.
I mean, he's 75 years old. He's only been king for 17 months. You and I were together for the, all the various ceremonies. As you mentioned, he's been very open about this surgery. So what do you think the next steps will be?
Well, it's a good question, Kieran, and I think based on how open he has been, there's questions here if he will continue to be open. He obviously has to go in for some form of treatment. Again, we don't exactly know what that treatment's going to look like. Will he be open about it? Will he keep informing the public? Maybe he has said he wants to raise awareness, and as he just released in this statement, he wants to reach out to those people who also have cancer. We know there's a growing number around the world, and so I think it'll be interesting to follow him on this journey. But, Kira, something else you just said there is so important. He's only been king, like you said, about 17 months. His coronation was less than 8 months ago. He's a man that just entered his kingdom right now. He's been waiting so long for this, and to have this diagnosis happen now, he's got to be going through a range of emotions, and it'll be interesting to see how he uses this diagnosis and his platform to potentially make a difference.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and you know this from covering the royals for so many years. It's unusual, I don't know, I think, to be this open and transparent, even sort of from the beginning, because as we know, Princess Kate also went in for surgery as well. We were talking about both of them, her abdominal surgery, what he went in for as well. There seems to be I guess, more transparency than we've seen in the past. I mean, when it came down to Queen Elizabeth, it was very rare that we ever got details about things like this.
It's a really good point, and that's what's so curious here. Will we keep getting this level of detail? Will we learn more about his cancer and his treatment plan? I think he really does want to make this something that people can talk about and bring the country together. As he's mentioned multiple times, he wants to raise awareness and really make a difference. And Kira, what's also interesting and something we haven't seen before is how the other royals are reacting. He was in the hospital for 3 days for that prostate procedure just the end of January, and his wife, the Queen, visited him every single day he was in the hospital, even staying with him throughout the entirety of his surgery. And Kira, that might seem normal for us to go visit your spouse, but historically, royals haven't visited each other in the hospital. It just wasn't done. So something else that's unusual, either changing tradition or perhaps she wanted to be there and decided she didn't care what happened historically. But we're definitely seeing new things happening here, whether it be transparency or even how other royals are reacting to the news.
Yeah, have we heard from anybody else? I'm just looking at all the notes that you've been putting out, and of course, a number of our producers who help support us in getting information as it's just coming in. And I don't see here that anybody else so far has said anything about his condition or what we're learning. Do you know anything else this hour, if anybody is speaking out, or if maybe family members might be coming in to be with him, since we now know that this is a different situation than what we thought a week ago, Maggie?
It's a good question, Karen. We haven't heard anything just yet. This statement only came out moments ago, and so we can assume the Buckingham Palace wanted to release this information first. Perhaps we'll be hearing from other members of the royal family in the next few hours. It's interesting, you know, we have been watching his health the past few weeks, and as you mentioned, we were watching the health of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as well. And they were in the hospital together. We know that King Charles went to visit Princess Catherine when they were both in that same hospital. And so they have been sort of going through medical trauma together these past few weeks. It'll be really interesting to see what happens in the next few hours and days, how the royal family comes together. Will there be a collective statement? Will there be a statement from the Wales to King Charles? I think these are all things that we'll be looking out for.
All right, Maggie, really appreciate just the last minute jumping in and giving us all the latest information. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.